Barbara, can you tell me what makes a good community services and health worker?
I think a lot of the qualities are the same whether you are Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander or not. And I think those are the qualities around, at the bottom of it, you need to be pretty pragmatic, because they're industries where you often are not going to see results for your efforts quickly. And so that means you've got to be resilient and be prepared to commit to a fairly long time to see something for the work that you've put in. Obviously, you've got to like working with people.
Do people need to have finished school to do these courses?
No, they don't. It's easier if they do, and it's sometimes easier if they get a bit of a taste of it while they're still at school. But that doesn't mean to say that they can't make their way into those industries. What we forget is that a lot of people, and a lot of young people, in their own private lives, are doing some of that stuff anyway. They're minding younger siblings. They're looking after extended family. They're looking after aged relatives. I mean, there are some amazing statistics about the number of school-age kids who are carers for aged and sick relatives. And so a lot of them are already doing the stuff, and they probably don't think of it as a career because it's what they're doing, and they have to do it because it's their family.
Why is it that it's so important that we develop Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to go out there into their communities to address the problems and the issues within the communities?
Well, because the problems and the issues in the community are not going to be resolved if we constantly rely on a non-Indigenous workforce. You can't wander around with the rhetoric of empowerment, community development, and then not allow people to access jobs. So it must be very difficult for people if they're living in a community where people are constantly talking, as they do, about pride in your community and keeping your culture strong, which has become a bit of an overworked term. And when those people look around them in the community, the people who have the jobs that earn them money, that allow them a level of dignity, are not Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people. Training that really works well is training that's done on the job. And training is done really well where you can physically show somebody the results of not doing something properly. Our organisation's doing some training at the moment, which is we've taken a group of women who have some basic, what you might call environmental health worker skills, and they're a cleaning crew, and they do contract cleaning in their community. And what we're doing is increasing their skill set so that they can then work as tenant support workers. That means they can support the tenants who are going into all of this brand new housing that's being built in remote communities. And very often those tenants are going into houses without all of the knowledge that they need about how to actually keep that house healthy, keep it working and keep it safe. And we're delivering the training by going into the community and actually observing people doing their cleaning, observing them carrying out their contract work, and then doing things like, okay, so you think you've cleaned these surfaces? Okay, now we'll do a swab, and now we'll take it back and we'll put it under the blue light, and there's all the bacteria. And the other models that really work is where you engage Aboriginal Torres Strait Islander people in that community who may have a particular status. So they might be elders, they might be very well respected people, They may be people who have worked in that industry when they were younger and now they've retired. And I think that a model of where you engage those people and have them contribute to the training is also another model that works really well. I think that sometimes the culture of the industry is something that people find difficult to cope with. So you're used to the culture of your family, you're used to the culture of your community, and you come into not so much community services but certainly health. You come into an industry that's run in a very hierarchical manner, and this extraordinarily Western model, which is not holistic, even though we try really hard to talk about doing that. So it's a very different approach to health than particularly people who are living in a more community sense. Their approach to health is very different. And so what we do is we divorce the health issue from the rest of the person and from what else is going on around them. And it's very Western in its approach. The other thing that we need to do, I think, is that we need to look at the opportunities for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people across the full scope. What we've tended to do is to create particular positions, a particular occupation, and we see Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people as working in those positions. And we don't look at things like dental assisting, we don't think it as things of dietitians, physiotherapists. So we're taking a very small slice of the industry and saying this is where Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people fit, without a reference to all of these other jobs where a small pilot that's running in the Northern Territory at the moment is training young people to be dental assistants, and it's being done within the department, the government department, and they're doing it as a school-based apprenticeship. Now, I think there are 5 or 6 people doing it. If they finish that course, they can walk out of school, walk around the central business district, which is a very small orbit, and they could all get a job.
Why do you think it's so important for Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander people to take up this qualification? How will it transform their lives?
It'll transform their lives because they will become part of the solution. This is the big thing with me. If they stand outside the industry and watch other people doing things to their families and their communities, then they will continue to be seen as part of the problem. They will continue maybe to be seen as a victim. Whereas if they get in there and they work in the industry, and by doing that demonstrate to other people in the industry that there's more than one way of doing it, and maybe if you try this way, it will work better. So you're in there becoming, if you like, a cultural broker, and you're becoming a trainer. You're becoming the teacher. So becoming part of the solution is what you get by taking up one of these jobs.